Well, President Trump tweeting his support for the UK last night, saying this: whatever the United States can do to help out in London and the UK, we will be there. We are with you. God bless. And he fired up a few more tweets this morning, catching some people's attention. Daniel Halper is the contributing editor for the Washington Free Beacon. He has seen all the tweets and now joins us. Good to see you.
Great to be here.
Okay, so you know some of the other tweets. Let's go through a couple of here. He says we must stop being politically correct and get down to the business of security for our people. If we don't get smart, it will only get worse. He went on to be critical of London's mayor. London's mayor spokesman has said what he said about the London mayor was taken out of context, and that this guy has better things to do right now than to worry about the president's tweets.
Yeah, look, substantively, obviously, President Trump's critics will find plenty to criticize, but I think on the issues, I mean, stylistically, they'll find plenty to criticize, but substantively, there's actually a lot there, which is that our current terror policy in America and abroad in the UK is clearly not working. These, it seems so regular and so routine at this point to have these kind of terror attacks, and at least somebody's running around with his head on fire and trying to prevent or trying to figure out ways in which we can change our policy in order to make some sort of change. I think that would be welcomed by a lot of people who are concerned that this kind of terror will come to America and are concerned about it spreading in Europe like wildfire.
And there's so many things there that the millions who supported him in the election and now love about him because he's plain spoken. He says things that they're thinking and maybe they feel like in the past they couldn't say in such a way, and they like that he's just going head on at this issue. But at the same time, on the other side of that coin, the people who did not like him, it upsets them as much as it makes the other side of the coin happy.
Right. Well, that's the story of his presidency so far, is that the people who don't like him will continue not liking him. The people that do like him continue to like him. But I think he needs to take this issue further, right? It's not just saying we need to fight terrorism. He needs to lay out specific ways to fight this and prevent this. What we're seeing, especially like in this London attack, it's not at all a complex attack. Anybody has access to a car or to some sort of vehicle, and driving it into a crowded area and then knifing people. This is not sophisticated, and therefore can spread more and become more prevalent just by the nature of the attack. And so so then combating it becomes more complex. So I think he needs to figure out a way to do this beyond the travel ban. Travel bans may be one thing, maybe it is effective in some cases, maybe it's not. We don't know yet. But even so, that's not enough. And by his own admission, there needs to be more done. He needs to lay out how he plans to defeat ISIS and these terrorists. And I think focusing his presidency on that as opposed to the scandals here in Washington might be a good way to try to bring other people.
Well, I want to ask you, though, about another thing that he's going to have to confront this week, which is going to be the former FBI director he fired. James Comey is going to be testifying in an open hearing at the Senate on Thursday. What is your take on what we could learn? Because a lot of people say, listen, sometimes it's a nothing burger, but will he talk about pressure that he may allege the president put on him to stop investigating General Flynn?
So it's possible he won't testify. President Trump can invoke executive privilege and prevent him from testifying based on their private conversations. It seems likely that he will, that President Trump won't invoke that. Either way, it's obviously going to be a story. I think he will talk about that, as the stories previously have indicated that he will say that President Trump pressured him. I'm not sure he'll say much beyond that because there's still an ongoing investigation, and he's going to say, look, there's both an ongoing FBI investigation and then this Robert Mueller investigation. I think he's going to defer a lot of the tougher questions and more interesting things to that, but it obviously will be very, very political and create a lot of news.
It absolutely will. All right, Daniel Halper, good to see you.
Thank you, Shannon.